evening and happy Alien Day. And of course, we have a jam-packed episode tonight, so why don't we jump right on in? Here's where you can find America's Hometown Horror online and on social media. First place is oppod.com. I can tell you from some experience that there will be exclusive content coming from oppod.com today, actually, if you're listening to this episode, and also next week. Anyway, you can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for @Hometown Horror or America's Hometown Horror, and you can find us, or you can also email us at hometownhorrorpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, I would like to mention our two sponsors, first of which is Horror Facts Magazine. You can find them at horrorfacts.com. Great resource for any horror fans for news, reviews, editorials, and of course, other horror podcasts, but also including our podcast. Last but certainly not least, we are now an affiliate of Fangoria, the first name in fright since 1979. Head on over to shop.fangoria.com/hometownhorrorpod, or just go there and use the code hometownhorrorpod at checkout for an exclusive 20% discount off any merchandise and first-time magazine subscriptions. And last but certainly not least, here's the biggest thing. We've talked about this in the last couple episodes. If you want to support our show directly, you can head on over to inebriart.com, go to their events page, look for the October events page, and you can buy tickets to the Hometown Haunts and Hops Horror Convention. We are going to be there. We're going to be doing some live things, some fun things, and lots of other things that we're working on behind the scenes that I can't necessarily reveal yet. We had a meeting about it on Monday. And now is as good a time as any to introduce my co-host, Andrew Cat Matt. Guys, hello.
What up? Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Guys, we had a nice little opportunity to meet with Andy, our buddy from Inebriart, to talk about the Haunts and Hops Horror Convention at Mayflower Brewing Company on October 28th of this year. Some cool stuff, as I said, going on behind the scenes, right?
I was happy with a lot of those ideas that were to fruition. It was solid, definitely a solid meeting of the minds, and that got me, like, because, like, so far I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fun, like, I'm pumped. And then Monday I was like, all right, this is gonna be like really fucking
it's
cool.
Gonna be a good time.
So,
yeah, I can't reveal a whole lot yet. So listening to this podcast, you can head over to oppod.com and go to our blog page, and there will be a blog that I put together about this event. Kind of the genesis about why we wanted to do it and partner with Inebriart and a bunch of stuff like that. I can't promise a lot of details, but what I can promise over the weekend is that we may be doing something with Inebriart for halfway to Halloween to give a little bit more promotion to this event, which I don't even think I told all you guys. I'll tell you offline. Anywho, I can also say that we met with a girl named Amber, who's awesome, and she's going to help us with the event. She works with Barrett's Haunted Mansion and Spooky World up in New Hampshire to market both of those places. You can find her page at Creepshow Creative on Instagram. And again, there'll be more information about our collaboration and what we're doing with the event today, again, on oppod.com on the blog. Anyway, guys, I am light on watch list stuff. Heavy on news. Some of my news leads directly into the topic that we're going to talk about tonight. Would anyone like to kick off with their watch list?
I'll go first.
Sure. Maddie, as always, go first.
I only have a few, but some definitely some solid watches. One for sure. These are both, I would say, Andrew movies.
Yes.
One of them is George A. Romero's Martin from 1977.
Okay.
So this was recently restored and released on like a really, really big 4K release. I don't have that, but it is on Tubi. And as far as I
Tubi for the
know,
win, again.
This is the first time it's ever been streaming. And it's like under the radar. Like I was going through Tubi and I saw it and I was like, no fucking shit. So this is a great movie. It's a character study. It's not anything like any of his other stuff. It's not like any of the Dead movies or Creepshow or anything like that. But it's about this guy who basically thinks he's a vampire, and he goes around and he injects people to knock them out and sedate them, and then he slashes them in the neck or wrist and drinks their blood. And he goes to live with his cousin to kind of try to get his life together. and he can't control himself. And it's 1977, so it has that good edge in terms of filmmaking when it comes to those kind of movies. Like think like Taxi Driver, how it has that like grittiness to it. 100% check this movie out because it was good. I enjoyed this, and a great character study. Pretty gory. It's got a lot of like kind of trippy flashback type shit to it. The other movie I watched, this was on YouTube. It was the only place I could find it. This is a movie from 1988 from China called The Man Behind the Sun.
Okay.
Have you guys ever heard of this?
No.
Negative.
So, this movie's fucking brutal. This will be in my series, in my blogs,
Yes.
for sure. This is a movie about World War II Japan soldiers kidnapping prisoners of war from China and Russia and using them as experiments for biological warfare.
Oh, damn.
And it is fucking brutal. Like, it is way, way over the top. The only thing that sucks is I'd like to get a copy of this and watch it again because there's 2 versions on YouTube. One of them is with subtitles, but the screen is like wicked fucking small. It's it's literally a tenth of my TV screen. And then the one that fits my whole TV screen has an English dub, and it's just like, it's really shitty, it's really corny, and it just like takes away from the actual seriousness of it. But holy fucking shit, man, this was a really brutal watch. It caught me by surprise. I knew that it was kind of up there, but this one I was like, wow. So threw me for a loop. Andrew, check it out.
That sounds...
And I'm sorry, it's called what?
Man Behind the Sun. It's like Man Behind the Sun 731.
It's
yeah.
YouTube free on YouTube, like if you have the...
Yeah. Like I said, it's
YouTube
just
account?
like, when I get a copy of it, I'll borrow it. But
Not even like YouTube TV, just like little...
No, like YouTube.
Literally
Oh,
YouTube.
sick.
Yeah.
Come and See is on YouTube, too. That's another like really brutal movie. But this is much more of a horror movie.
Check that out.
Yeah, so those are really the... I rewatched The Omen.
Nice.
Those are really the only watches I
In
have for
addition
this
to
movie.
this movie that we're about to talk about tonight, which
Yep.
I saw that you watched. Okay. Beautiful. Andrew, anything you want to talk about?
I didn't watch much. I watched the first episode of Dead Ringers. Very good.
Okay, so
I like
yeah,
it so
I'm
far.
glad you brought that up.
Really, Rachel Weisz is phenomenal.
We know that you love her.
Not even that. She's just amazing in this. Like, it's a lot different than the Cronenberg one. Obviously, it's a theme of that.
Yep.
But they work together in a hospital, and they so far in the first episode, they've switched places. Not like in the other one where it's for sexual reasons. It's like if one's overwhelmed, certain what are they called? Patient. The other one will switch places and take over
Yep.
her place.
There's definitely a disturbing element to that.
There's a disturbing
as
element to
well.
that too because of what they're gynecologists or their goal is to get their own birthing clinic because essentially they want to grow babies in test tubes is where it's going.
Goddamn.
So they're trying to get private funding for it in order to be allowed to do pretty much
Right, without regulations.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it's going towards that.
Underground
What's the
baby
time?
test
What does this
tube.
take time? Like where's the...
Now
Oh,
it is.
yeah? Okay.
It's current day.
So a modern remake of Dead Ringers much.
Yeah, and it's
With some twists.
There's a lot of it's a little gross watching.
It's on Hulu,
right? Amazon.
Amazon.
So there's a lot of gross stuff.
Okay.
So it's
But
definitely-
from your perspective, and I know you're a tough sell on TV. Is it worth checking out?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I like a lot of Amazon Prime shows come out with.
See, I feel like for me personally, I care for the least of their shows. The only one that I really, really loved a lot was Outer Range. Outer Range was awesome.
Is that the one with
Josh Brolin and
Pullman's kid?
Bill Pullman's kid.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one. That's the one. Cool. So Dead Ringers on
Dead
Amazon
Ringers, yeah,
Prime
check it out.
with
It's a good
Andrew's
start.
girl Rachel Weisz.
She's
Anything
also
anything
executive
else?
producer,
Beautiful.
which is pretty cool.
Good. Good for her.
Yeah, very entertaining so far.
Yeah. Shout out to our Mummy episode. Rachel Weisz was a huge part of that. Absolutely. Anything else, Andrew?
That is all I've
Okay.
watched outside of other stuff.
Kat, anything you would like to report on?
We watched Yellowjackets.
We did. I was actually going to bring that up. Anything else besides Yellowjackets?
No.
All right, so now's as good of a time as any. So, Andrew, are you caught up on Yellowjackets?
I am not. I need to get back into it. I kind of lost
How
it.
far behind are you?
Oh, jeez.
I think 2 episodes.
Oh, he's given up.
What was the last thing you saw? Do you remember?
We can't talk about it.
Oh my
I think
God.
it might have been. Was it the one where
No.
they were eating her?
No.
No, I don't think it was
No,
that one.
it's
Jesus Christ, that was like episode
That's
2.
the second.
No, that wasn't
we
it.
can't
Then.
talk
It was.
about it.
What episode are we on now?
It's not
5.
fair.
So 3.
We're
Was
at the halfway point in the season.
So 3 was probably the last episode.
3 was a slow episode.
Yeah, I think that was the last one then.
Okay, so you're 2 behind.
2 behind.
And the last 2 have been pretty good. After I drunkenly last week said that I was done carrying the water for this show, I feel like it was boring for the first 3 episodes, and I feel like 4 and 5 have actually been pretty good.
That was even like, I think you just texted that too.
Well, I was
think
saying
last
the same
week
thing.
you still were
Yeah.
kind of like, I'm
actually,
back on
I think I
board.
did say my
Yeah.
chili was running hot, and I don't
Yeah.
really feel as ridiculous as I was saying via text. But yeah, I feel like it's been actually pretty good. It's definitely connecting some threads. It's doing a little bit more supernatural
steam.
stuff, and there's some interesting stuff that happens. I feel like in both timelines, it's starting to come together. The
Yeah.
storylines a little bit.
The
which
last
is
10
good.
minutes made me very anxious.
Yeah, absolutely. And safe to say that the next episode 6, is going to be a major thing that happens. That's all I can really tell you, Andrew. I mean,
I'll get caught up again.
if you know about
They
all
go
the
in
characters in
waves.
the show, you know that the one character has one thing going on that's eventually going to happen no matter what happens. And that might be happening in episode 6. So that's all I'll
One
say.
character.
I love how you just put that out.
I mean, I don't really know how else
That
to
made me
describe
happy.
it.
Spoiler
Yeah, right?
One character's got something happen. It's probably going to happen very soon. It has
All
to
right, so
happen.
I would
It's
say,
happening in the
yeah,
next episode.
yeah.
The happening is happening. Next
What else?
episode.
I mean,
What's happening?
if you read, what's happening?
What's happening?
If you read between the lines of what I was saying, you'll understand what I was saying.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
It's gonna happen.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
Oh, it's happening.
He's saying it's
Something's
happening.
gonna happen.
Something's gonna
And
happen.
if it
Something's
doesn't happen,
Also,
might be something else that happens.
So yeah, I
happening.
mean, I guess we can't really talk too much about Yellowjackets. Andrew, I would say
This is
next
definitely happening.
For Andrew's sake.
next week, Andrew.
Something's happening.
Next week when we record, make sure you're all caught up in Yellowjackets, so we can do a mid-season,
Binge. Just
like
binge.
mid-season review
I'll
of
binge.
Yellowjackets.
Don't
Andrew,
worry.
there's like 3. You'll be 3 episodes behind.
Yeah.
Come on, just do it. I also, Matt, I want to tell you that I finally got to and finished
Geno's.
Colors of the Dark's top 10 A24 episode, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
loved it.
I still need to watch Under the Skin. Because I haven't seen that.
I haven't either.
Under the Skin.
It's on
the
HBO.
one with,
You love
with
that
Scarlett
Yeah, that
Johansson.
movie's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
So there were a couple of movies on the
So
list that I
weird.
had not heard of that I absolutely want to watch. Enemy was one with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
I've never
that's
seen
like
it.
the first
Never seen it.
A24 movie.
Never seen Under the Skin, and then I think there was one more. But so I've never seen Saint Maud. That was
Oh,
the third
really?
one. So I
That movie's good.
I didn't finish it yet, but I'm about a half hour into Saint Maud, and I will report back on that next week. That's about all I have. I wanted to offer something for
So,
a watch list other than
I've heard a lot
Yellowjackets.
about Enemy,
This-
even though it's not like.
Saint Maud, it's like you have to watch it at least one more time after you finish it.
I've heard that. Yeah,
Because
they were
it's like
talking
you're gonna when you watch it the second time and you know the whole story, it is way more like upsetting.
Yeah.
'Cause
Okay.
you're just like, fuck, man. Like,
I don't know anything about it. I do now, but I went into it blind, is what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say. So, also, I loved, and I know you guys didn't listen to it, but they did their top 10 A24 horror movies. And I loved that they had The Black Coat's Daughter so high on their list.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's a movie that from A24 that flies so fucking far under the radar.
That's
Andrew,
one I
I know
need to
you and I
rewatch.
did an
Yeah,
that
episode
was-
on it.
Yep. Oh yeah.
It was just you and me.
You
'Cause
watched it.
I
Kat was on it. I thought.
I don't think you were. I don't think you were.
We all watched it
yeah, 'cause
together,
I
didn't
liked
we?
that movie. Yeah, I was on that.
I think you watched it after. For some reason, I feel like it was just me and Andrew, and you watched it after the
possible.
fact. You missed a week. I feel, I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll go back. And
I feel like we
check it
watched
out.
that movie. No, we didn't watch it together, but it was something. I don't know.
But
It was
yeah,
long.
I mean,
that was in the movie theater.
They
No.
kind of. So actually, they did a good riff
that
on.
movie it was not in the movie theater. It had been out. For
No.
like 4
We definitely
years.
didn't see it in theaters. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Never
Never
The
mind.
movie's like 10 years old.
Okay. Then we definitely didn't see it.
So they did a better version on that podcast episode of what we were talking about. Remember the idea where we were talking about like doing a draft with who's the best studio in horror
yeah.
between like A24 and Blumhouse
Yeah.
and Miramax and New Line and whoever the fuck else we picked, right?
They just-
Ghost House.
yeah, they just picked the studio and then you
Yeah,
draft
like
them.
okay, you pick the studio and then do a ranking or do a draft. I feel like that's a much better way of doing it. So
Yeah.
maybe we
Yeah, why didn't we
will
think of that?
borrow that idea for a future episode. Also, one of the few redeeming qualities of the Wicker Man episode I can report back from listening to an episode that I brought up. I think we should still examine this idea too for an episode. It's not a draft, but your biggest quote unquote horror sins. We talked about this.
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
I did keep that in mind.
Yeah,
and
it's a
then-
good one, I think. So basically, like, hey, like you're saying, like, I hate this movie that everyone loves.
Your most unpopular opinion,
hate this
yeah.
franchise that everyone loves. I love this movie that everyone hates. I've never seen this movie that everyone considers a classic. Like that type of shit. Like weird shit. I feel like Kat would have some really good ones for that.
Speaking of
Why are you laughing?
speaking of A24 movies, I
Yes.
forget because we're
Shit.
recording later in the week this
Yeah.
week. I did give Green Room a rewatch
Oh, that movie's
last
good.
week.
Yeah, it's very good.
That movie is fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, I like that
dude.
movie.
Yeah, it's a really fucked up.
It is
the violence in it is
brutal,
brutal.
dude.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
brutal. Yeah. So yeah.
The
anyway.
box cutter.
Oh
dude.
yeah. It's just. Have you seen Green Room?
That's the one with Patrick Stewart, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that movie.
That's a great movie. Have you seen that? Oh, you.
That's a
you-
fucking
you would-
harsh
you,
movie.
You would
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
You would like it.
Okay. Green
Patrick
Room.
Stewart
I'll add it to
as a
the list.
neo-Nazi
I'm
skinhead
going to
gang
have to
leader.
ask you
Unbelievable.
to give the gun back.
Fantastic. All right, guys.
Keep
Any,
the bullets.
any
Who has it
other?
again?
It's called Green Room, directed
Room.
by Jeremy Saulnier.
Yeah, he did. Have you seen Blue Ruin?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Good movie too. He's a good director. He directed.
I'm waiting for his third movie, dude.
He directed a few episodes of season 3 of True Detective, which is right up his alley.
Yeah.
So
I'm waiting for that third movie, man.
we'll see what happens.
Now we got Black Mirror coming this summer.
Oh, so
What?
yep,
What?
that's a
What?
perfect segue, Andrew. Let's lead right into
I
the
sent
news here.
a thing in the
So-
group text.
I don't-
Before
You
we
did.
go there,
If I
any
sometimes
other?
I
She
don't
didn't read it. She didn't read it.
No, because sometimes you guys rapid fire.
No, this
and
was
I'm
like one.
I can't follow
This was like
this.
one
This
in
is
like
too
the middle of
much.
the day, and then there was nothing.
That was
else.
it.
Okay, well, maybe I was just like, oh, it's just Andrew.
All right, before I
She's
do,
too busy Snapchatting about how she's eating cheeseburgers from
Yes.
McDonald's.
Yes.
all day.
yes.
Nuggets.
Nuggets and burgers.
No,
Excuse me.
no fries though. Nuggets
Before
are
I
gross.
transition into the news stuff real quick, anyone else have anything watch this related, or we cover everything, right? We're good? Okay. First and foremost, guys, we're going to Fright Kingdom as of this recording tonight. Fright Kingdom in Nashua, New Hampshire. Halfway to Halloween in April. It's fucking awesome. We're going to a haunted house in April, which I've never done before. You guys
Yay!
excited or what?
Oh yeah, I'm pumped.
All right. Should be good. I can promise you that if you're listening to this episode, which will be out on Friday, we will have something out next week in terms of maybe a review that's part of an episode, or maybe something more. Stay tuned. We shall see what happens. But yeah, Fright Kingdom, Nashua, New Hampshire. If you want to go, they're doing it 2 nights, tonight, Friday, and also tomorrow night, Saturday, which would be April 28th 8th and 9th. Yep, you can do it 2 days only. Buy tickets on their website. And if you're going there tonight, which will be Friday, the 28th, come say hello. Let us know you're going there. Send us a message. Anyway, guys, in addition to that, we mentioned last week in the Wicker Man episode that Evil Dead Rise was out in theaters, and it scared up over $40 million in its first weekend at the box office.
Pretty good.
The weekend alone. So Evil Dead Rise doing very well for itself, getting good reviews, making a lot of money, a lot of people going to see it.
I've heard nothing but stellar reviews.
So we saw Scotty from Roll Street and Second Wind.
At Mayflower.
That's right, at Mayflower. We were all there together.
Yeah.
He messaged me after the fact and said that it was good, not great. That basically he felt, I think, I'm not going to quote him directly, but he felt like a lot of the transition from the cabin to the building thing was overhyped. It wasn't really that big of a deal, and a lot of the good stuff that was shown in the trailers were the best parts of the movie.
Well, I'm glad I only watched one trailer
Yeah,
briefly.
he said he liked the reboot much better, which I was like, I love the reboot. So, I mean,
That's a good movie, man. That's
It's a
hard
really
to
good
top.
movie.
So
Yeah, I mean, if this movie's better than that, I'd be surprised.
but if it's
Yeah.
in the same ballpark, I'm gonna be
Enough.
happy.
Yeah,
So
I'm not expecting miracles.
Yeah.
I'll be seeing that Saturday night. Andrew may be with me.
Okay. Well, you guys will have to report back next week and let us
Report
know how
back.
you feel. Guys, in addition to that, Kat, and news that would be of particular interest to you. I know Matt sent this out on the group text earlier this week. Scream 6 is now available to stream for free if you have
yeah.
a Paramount Plus subscription. So I'm sure we'll be watching that between now and the next time we record, because I know Kat wants to see it.
Absolutely. I know. I'm excited.
You,
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
You doing okay over there? Doing good? Yeah.
I'm just
Pokemoning? Yep.
no. I'm making some-
Oh, betting on the Celtics. I see.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
we'll see how the Celtics do tonight. Hopefully they close out the series. Guys, a couple other things, because we had some major film festivals last couple of days. We got a couple of title reveals for a couple of movies. First thing is David Gordon Green's Exorcist reboot is going to be called The Exorcist: Believer. We also got the title for the last Conjuring movie, which this is a much better name than The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do. It's going to be called The Conjuring Last Rites. Solid name. Let's see if it's a solid movie.
I think that got leaked because I think I saw that like months and months.
It might have. I hadn't heard of this before. But, Matt, how do you feel about the Exorcist reboot?
I'm looking forward to watching the trailer.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be...
So here's my... do you want to hear my thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do I feel about how David Gordon Green did with the Halloween series? I don't know. Not great. But,
Not great.
How do I feel about anything having to do with The Exorcist at all? Not great. I'm going to watch them as they come out. I'm going to take them with a grain of salt. And I'm just going to do the same thing that I have done with Halloween and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I'm going to completely separate the original from these.
Yeah.
And just kind of take them for what they are.
Yeah.
And if I don't like them, I don't like them. If I do like them, then cool. They could be a legacy thing. But I'm not going to take it to heart and take it personally and cuss out David Gordon and whoever else because they're not making bad movies. It's just in terms of what the original was. It's hard to fucking do that. Dude. These movies came out 50 years ago.
My thing on these, I just feel like the exorcism thing has been done to death.
Oh, sure.
So it almost is as bad to me as the zombie genre. What genre, as Alex Trebek would say. What can we do that's new with the exorcism? What can you do?
It's been played.
It's the same story over and over.
Exactly.
Those two,
all you can do is just make it more and more brutal.
Right.
In terms of
More
what
gross
the
stuff.
said possessed person does.
Yeah, I don't know.
So.
Yeah, I mean, The Exorcist
It's
is
like
one
haunting.
of my favorite
It's like
movies.
the same thing. Haunting, ghost stories, exorcism.
And I mean,
It
I
all
know
ebbs and flows, though.
Yeah.
There's always going to be periods of time where these certain things are popular.
There's
Yeah.
only so
You know
many
what I mean?
ideas out there.
Yeah,
It's like
I know.
vampire. You can only.
We'll have slashers come back around. Don't
we will.
worry. It's gonna happen.
And
Someone's eyebrow.
for a reference point, Matt's opinion of The Exorcist is so high that we had him on before he was a full-time member of the show to talk about the I believe. And you also have Reagan tattooed in your leg, or yes, absolutely. It's in how high regard you hold.
I have
that
her,
movie.
Leatherface, and Michael Myers, all three of the
Beautiful.
original movies that legacied. So
Yep. Okay. All right. So little news there, but okay, Andrew, you referred to this earlier. We finally did get a trailer for which I watched. I know you watched. I don't know if Kat. I don't know if you guys did.
No.
For the 6th season of Black Mirror, which I feel like is one of the best shows on TV. It's very sci-fi, but can be crossing into horror over a little bit. So, guys, excited for Black Mirror season 6. Andrew, go first.
Can't wait. I didn't watch the trailer. I just read the article. So, but yeah, I didn't even realize that this was even a possibility. I forgot about.
Oh, you don't
Mirror.
even watch it? You just read it?
You just read the article.
Wait, but you
Okay.
watched Black Mirror before.
No, I watched Black Mirror. I just didn't know that this was even in the realm of
I didn't know.
possibilities.
Oh,
Now,
it's
this came
been-
out of left field for me. I didn't.
The last season of Black Mirror was like 2 or 3 years ago. It's been
seems
a
like it was
long
a while
time.
ago.
Long
what are they
time.
going to do now that AI
Was that
is
pre-COVID?
real?
I think it was pre-COVID. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a
because you had
while.
Bandersnatch and then you had the other one,
Bandersnatch.
which wasn't. I wasn't overly impressed.
Bandersnatch
with,
was awesome. The season after that came out after
wasn't-
Bandersnatch was not
Yeah, that was
great.
the one with Miley Cyrus.
Miley
Was in it.
Cyrus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's-
Miley
sucks,
Cyrus.
yeah.
There was one I really
and
liked.
It's all I remember.
Andrew
from Miley
Scott.
Cyrus.
It had
and,
Moriarty in it.
What's his name? The guy that played Topher Grace was in an episode. Yeah, the episode with Moriarty. Yeah, from that. Yeah,
I like that episode.
his name's Andrew Scott. That was a
Okay.
good episode where he's in the cab the whole time.
Yeah.
That's it's him and Topher Grace in that episode. That's the one I think I remember.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously Black Mirror, great show. Like each episode, if you don't like one, you like the next one very, very much. And most of them are very good. I'm just excited that it's coming back, and we're getting, I guess, in various episodes this season, Salma Hayek,
I saw that.
Aaron Paul, Josh Hartnett, Catherine.
Yes! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Oh
now.
yeah, probably a bunch of other people that I
love it.
can't remember, but those are the 3 main people that I saw in the trailer that I remembered. Yeah.
I kind of like having the non name
I
actors
think
in those?
I need to watch the trailer right now.
Or like before they become somebody?
In the trailer?
But it's
He's
fine.
in the trailer. He's in the trailer.
Okay.
I know we did an episode on Black Mirror. Matt, I don't think you were here for it.
No.
Fan of the show.
Kind of. I appreciate the show. It kind of makes
What?
me feel like shit.
Yeah,
I had a
it's
hard
definitely
time.
their depressing stories.
I had to take a break from it when I was first watching it, because it was really bumming me out. Specifically the one where the lady's husband dies, and she gets like a robot. version
Oh, that
of him,
one's so weird.
and she ends
yeah.
up like resenting him.
Yeah.
It just like it really, really left a bad taste in my mouth, and it's like I like things like that are intense and brutal and this, that, and the other thing, but that was just like very unpleasant.
Didn't she like grow him in the bathtub or what was it? No.
She
like,
like
lived in
keeps
the
him in the
bathtub?
attic.
She was like sent to her. Like,
Yeah.
What was
like
the one
assembled.
with I'm thinking of some other one with the one in the bathtub. Like,
And then there's the one where they are able to look through people's eyes to like see.
Oh, I
things,
love that one.
and
That's
they-
called the entire
that's
history
the first.
of you.
That's like the
No,
first season.
no. There's like a different one where the crocodile one, when they
Crocodile.
they go in and kill the two parents, and then she realizes that the baby witnessed it.
Oh, Crocodile Tears. That's the one. Yeah, I
that
remember
one was
Yeah,
fucked
that
up.
one's fucked.
I didn't like that. So
Dude, they're all fucked. They're very depressing stories.
yeah, and it's just like that's the thing. I was like, and I think there was a time I was watching it, and I was watching them during COVID, and I was like, this isn't it. Like, this isn't
cheering
what
me
I
up
need
at
to
all.
watch right
Yeah.
now.
This is gonna make me go kill myself. I need to watch something.
But like that, I remember specifically watching that one with the robot husband, and I finished it and I rewound it immediately after I watched it again. And just because I was like, there was something about it that was extremely touching, but it was so incredibly saddening. And it wasn't like the situation of having like an AI replace your like dead spouse. It was her resentment towards it ultimately. That was like, this is fucking awful. Like
Yeah.
I really was put off by that, and I think that was kind of when I was like, I don't think I want to watch this anymore.
was that the one with the redhead that was in the
Yeah,
newer
he was in the Star Wars movies,
Yeah, that's
and
that
it was
one.
Haley
Okay.
Atwell, who was in the Captain America movie.
They
Yep,
do a great
that
job.
was the one.
But yeah, I think I'm ready to revisit. There's a handful of them I didn't watch because I would read their things, like the synopsises.
Oh, yeah.
And some of them I was just like, I don't think I give a shit about that.
So start with one called Playtest, which has
Oh, good.
Kurt Russell's kid in it.
I really-
And,
what was that one?
It's the most horror one I think out of
Well, the
every
one
episode.
when Rory Kinnear bangs the pig is fucking...
Yeah, it's
Oh,
gross.
yeah,
It's
that's
gross.
gross.
That's the
That
very
was
first
heavy,
episode of
dude.
the show.
Yeah.
The one with John Hamm's really good.
Oh,
White
yeah,
Christmas.
that's
That
good.
one was
with
awesome.
the Alexa thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
great.
That was
And
another
then,
one that
did
I
you
was
see
like,
the one
this
where
isn't
it was
cool.
like a museum where they had like
Black Museum.
Black
That one's
Museum.
fantastic.
That one's
Oh,
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was
too.
all. I mean, there's a lot of
They're
really
good.
a lot of
ones.
bangers.
They're very smart, and it's just like that's the thing. It's just like if Tales from the Crypt was like made by
Yeah.
A24.
Yeah,
I like
Honestly,
but then
yeah,
They,
yeah.
they have nice
Spot
ones
on.
like
Yeah.
San Junipero is a good episode. It's like a feel good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple feel-good
Like, there's-
episodes.
yeah.
You have to, because
San
Yeah.
Junipero
yeah.
and San Junipero and Hang the DJ are both like very like upbeat like love stories. I feel like that are like a good palate cleanser
Break.
if you're
Yeah,
watching it. It's not
right?
like all
Yeah.
dark, dreary shit. But
Have you guys watched?
Bandersnatch was the
Have you guys seen Ex
Bandersnatch was
Machina?
Oh, I fucking love that.
What
Have you
is
seen
it?
Ex
yes, I
Machina?
have seen Ex Machina.
Yeah, that's an Ex Machina.
No.
That's a great
It's
A24.
very good
That's
A24 movie.
yeah.
Early A24. That would fit right in with
Oh,
Black Mirror.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I would be surprised if there is an inspiration pulled from that movie.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. All right, so that's Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Season 6, coming to Netflix in our friend Catherine's birthday month, June of 2023.
What day is your birthday?
The first.
June 1st.
Oh, cool.
Kick off the month.
That's my aunt's
First
birthday.
the 1st of June is Catherine's birthday. And guys, leading us
Sounds
directly,
like I'm going to be taking the office.
I'm sure you will.
And I'm going to be doing
Yep,
because
yep.
you have to get paid.
Absolutely.
So vacation day.
All right.
Since we're about to transition into our topic du jour, which of course is the topic of the day, that sounds good. I'll have that. Related to Alien Day, 2 updates. So, there are 2 Alien franchise-related projects in development. The first one is a movie that's going to be directed by Fede Alvarez, who directed Don't Breathe. He directed the Evil Dead remake, and he also directed, I believe, Crawl? No, that was Alex Aja. What else did he do? Fuck. Fede Alvarez.
No, because I'm gonna mix Alex Aj up. No, did Fede Alvarez do Hills Have Eyes?
No, that was Alex
Okay,
Oster, too. Yeah, I get him mixed up all the time. Anyway, so for Alien Day, he shared a photo from the set of his new movie, which is tentatively called Alien Romulus, of the face hugger, essentially wrapped around like the slate, which I thought was kind of a cool thing. And I feel like he is a good director suited for Alien. Crawl? Is that Fede Alvarez?
You said Crawl.
Did I say Crawl?
No, it's just it's really like for horror. It's Don't Breathe in the Dead.
Okay, nothing else?
No.
All right.
Nothing in English. That aren't
Anywho,
films.
yeah, so that got shared for Alien Day. So we get the new movie, and then also we have a new Alien TV series coming to FX, or FX on Hulu, whatever it is now. It's directed by Noah Hawley, who did all of the Fargo TV series on FX, which I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's really, really
Fargo?
good. Fargo, yeah.
Oh yeah, that show's
Based on the
fucking
movie. It's
awesome.
It's
Yeah.
great. Excited to see what he does with it. So yeah, that's those are the updates there.
So hold on.
Yep.
So Fede Alvarez is making a new movie.
Correct.
Romulus.
Tentatively
I did not know
titled
that.
Alien
I didn't know that either.
Romulus. Yep.
Do you know why it's
It's
Alien?
in development.
Why is April 27th?
I
Or
think
is-
that's when it. I think
That's actually a really good
wait.
question that I
think
did
April
not look up.
20
What's today?
It's the 28th.
Well, is, are we do,
Oh.
or is
I think it's
we're
the day
doing
it
No,
was
no,
on these.
actually, sorry. So we're recording this on Thursday, the 27th. Yesterday, the 26th, was
Okay.
Alien Day.
So
I think it's the day.
So
it
we're
came out.
I
recording a
watched
day
Alien
late.
on Alien Day. That's
We're,
I did too.
We're
appropriate.
recording a day late, and the episode's being released an additional day late. So forgive us.
I wonder
Hey,
how many people rented Alien.
I bought it yesterday because when Kat texted the group and said, "Hey,
Oh, you
how
just
do we
bought
watch
it?
this movie?"
You're
Oh
like,
no, it came out June 22nd.
So what the fuck is what? Is
I
this
realized-
aliens
Alien
in general,
Day.
just like aliens.
I have no
Or
idea.
Alien the movie day.
I think it's
well,
both. I have no idea.
This
But anyway,
morning,
I
when I-
realized that this is one of
wait.
the few movies I hadn't purchased, so I bought it so Kat could
I
watch it.
thought you owned this on DVD.
I do, but I knew she wasn't
No,
going to go
not on
downstairs to
DVD.
watch it on
Oh,
DVD, so I
okay.
bought a digital
Fair
copy
enough.
of it too for $15.
But this morning, I was listening to the radio,
Morning.
and yes, when
Yeah.
I was driving to Carver to drop my little doggy off at his
Carver.
daycare,
Curver to his cure.
Jake here.
I was listening to Carson and Kennedy, and they had a question about
Ew.
Alien, and they were Sigourney Weaver, what her name was,
Ridley.
right?
Yes.
And they got it correct. But I mean, it was funny because they said in honor of Alien Day, and I was like, oh, that's funny. That
Tom
they said
DeLonge's
that on
favorite
Carson
day.
It must
Kennedy.
be like a date in the movie.
Let's see.
I was looking at Mike's shirt. I'm like, is that Alien?
Alien Day is an awesome day to recognize and appreciate the fantastic world of the Alien franchise, beginning with the first film released in '79 and spanning more than 40 years since. Blah 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 blah. It basically is referencing Nostromo, which I guess is ship number 426.
Oh, okay. See, I was wondering that because
LV 426 was the name of the Nostromo. That was the code name for it. So basically, April 26th
what's
is
that
Alien
number
Day.
mean on
Cool.
your shirt?
I don't know. So I am wearing a Nostromo shirt.
Is that?
Did you get that? Is that a
I'm curious.
knockoff
I was-
Alien shirt then? Like,
No.
what is going on?
Because I feel like that's supposed to be. I feel like they just. it's
Okay,
like- I was-
look up the Nostromo logo in HD. This is an officially licensed Alien.
Oh no,
shirt.
that's fine.
I'm
just
pretty
curious,
sure.
What does that number mean?
Is that the number T-shirt?
Number
that was
of the
printed?
beast?
I mean, it's not. It's not necessarily. I mean, maybe it's the name of like the the serial number of the ship or like the VIN number.
Is that
You're
the
right.
Is that the
T-shirt.
registration number when she says it
Maybe.
at the very beginning of the movie?
Maybe.
You're
I
wearing a
don't know.
t-shirt? And you don't even know what's on
180269
it?
or no, because it ends in niner.
No, I know that the
if-
Nostromo logo is on this shirt. That's
What if-
what I know.
What if those numbers are offensive? And you're wearing it around.
How
and
could
you don't even
numbers be
know.
offensive?
You never know.
It
You
can't be
never know.
offensive. There's
I
practically
mean,
a rainbow on it.
Yeah, there's a rainbow on this
I
shirt.
mean,
I'm supporting our
it's not the
everyone.
regular rainbow though. It's kind of a dark rainbow.
Oh, okay.
To be fair.
It's the Nostromo rainbow.
That is the correct. that is
mean-
the correct number because
Yeah,
it should-
exactly, Andrew.
Is it-
It's
no, I'm
the
just
ship
curious.
number?
What
But
that,
you
I
didn't
gotta
know
look, I'm trying
that.
to
You
figure
were
it out.
hoping that was the case.
Well, why would I think anything else? I mean, I couldn't
Exactly.
tell you the number. I don't remember the number
That
of the
is the
logo.
registration number for the Nostromo.
Okay, thank you very, very
Oh,
much.
but see, I was she says niner at the end, but then it's parentheses niner.
Yeah.
So where's the parentheses 09er? Wrong.
I do remember that now. Yeah. Niner.
Anyway.
It says like 8 times.
Also revealed yesterday, as actual Alien Day 426, that Sigourney Weaver said that she is officially done playing Ellen Ripley. I guess she said the only time that she would have come out of retirement to do it was if that unmade Neil Blomkamp Aliens sequel got made, which, do you guys know about that?
No.
I feel like we've talked
I feel
about
like there's
this
like a
show before.
dozen unmade Alien sequels.
So basically, this would have ignored Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. Would have picked up directly after Aliens, and Corporal Hicks would have lived, and it would have been a much more horror-focused sequel with basically the guy that directed Chappie, District 9, and Elysium directing this, which would have been fucking incredible.
She was also in the
and
short
it got
film.
squashed by Ridley Scott.
She was in that short film in that like short story, that short
Correct.
series thing, whatever it was.
Correct.
That he fucking came out with that I talked about. That I saw it was on Netflix with the fucking Oak Studios.
Yes. I
That
still
one.
haven't
She was
watched
in,
it.
That's good. She was in the first one that he directed, so maybe there was, I don't know.
She's fantastic. I absolutely fucking love her. So.
Weaver rocks.
Yeah, more on her, I guess, in a little bit. So, guys, I think before we jump right into tonight's movie, why don't we take a quick 90-second break for a word from our sponsors? We are not alone in the universe. Right back.
It's official. The critics' decision is in.
Spooky World is spooktacular.
Enter the new Black Hole.
If you dare.
Or the new horror House of Wax. This year, don't miss the real Jason, Bobby Pickett, or Alice Cooper. Phone the 24-hour Spooky World hotline. 508-838-0200. That's 508-838-0200. Spooky World is just west of Boston and haunts every night from October 1st till November 1st. If you had the nerve, you'd phone 508-838-0200.
It's America's horror theme park. Spooky World.
Don't be scared. I'm the super sweet monster with the super sweet new cereal, Count Chocula.
Biffle, here's the super sweet new cereal, Frankenberry.
But I've got chocolate sweeties for monstrous chocolate flavor.
Well, I've got berry-flavored sweeties for monster strawberry flavor.
Count Chocula.
Frankenberry.
Hi.
Frankenberry.
Count Chocula.
Sleepy Clovers.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
The new face of evil is going to scare you to death. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. It's killer this year. Then right next door to the Abington Ale House. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. Eat, drink, and be scary. Go to bhmansion.com.
So, guys, that means we're talking about Alien tonight, which I feel like on this show now we are covering with this episode tonight my 4 pillars of Jaws, Halloween, The Shining, and Alien. We've covered all of those movies, and I would dare say that The Thing is also in there for me. This is a huge movie in my life. One of the first horror movies I ever saw. One of my dad's favorite horror movies as well, which is how I got turned on to this movie at way too young, and I was absolutely horrified. But I just love this movie so much, and I can't about it because I can't believe it's taken this long in the history of the show. I know we've talked about certain aspects of the Alien franchise and drafts and other roads like that, but this movie is just so special to me, and I watch it so many times. Matt, I remember you said last week that The Wicker Man is a special movie to you. You watch it a couple times a year. Mm-hmm. Alien's like that for me. Still holds up. You're laughing at me.
Yes.
I was just thinking in my mind, I'm like, I feel like you just...
This is like soliloquy, planned out about it.
Well, I also talked this way about The Mummy a few weeks ago.
I was going to say, I feel like you just said this about... I feel like anytime we talk about a movie you like, you're like, I can't believe it's taken us so long to this movie because I fucking love this movie.
The Mummy,
it's a fair point.
The Mummy, I feel like I was saying almost in jest. I
don't think you were.
I wasn't, but
When we were doing The Mummy, I was inching away from you because I thought I was going to get poked by a boner.
Well, what can I say? I like what I like, you guys, and I really, really like Alien. Dare I say I love Alien. It's one of my favorite horror movies.
Who doesn't like Alien?
Yeah.
It's a favorite ornament on our Christmas tree.
You know what?
It's the Xenomorph.
I have a Xenomorph Christmas ornament for our Christmas tree. I have all sorts of Alien memorabilia. I just love this movie so much.
Do you have a Xenobite?
You know what? I wasn't going to say anything.
No.
I was going to say not to be confused with...
Xenobites?
Xenobites, baby. Yep, I forgot about that.
There'll always be Xenobites to me.
So I know we're going to talk a lot about this movie. Guys, I have a couple of quick rapid-fire questions for you guys. Off the cuff, if you're interested, okay? Guys, I know the big debate. Obviously, Alien is directed by Ridley Scott, and its much-acclaimed sequel is directed by James Cameron, called Aliens, just add an S to the end. Guys, I ask you, Alien or Alien?
No apostrophe needed.
Or
Which movie do you prefer, Andrew?
Alien.
Absolutely. Catherine.
Alien. I don't think I've seen
So
Aliens.
when you
So,
say no, say I'm not.
Wow.
I can't answer.
That's crazy. That's insane. That's insane. Matthew.
Alien.
Okay, thank you. We're going to go 4 for 4 there because I feel like I'll talk about this
Cat
more.
would-
He's gonna just vote for you.
They're two different
You would
movies.
like the first one better. I think.
Yeah, they're two different movies. The second one is obviously very, very good, but it's a
second one
very
is
different.
Predator.
I honestly don't really care for James Cameron.
Who's that? It's
not
him,
either.
James Cameron.
James Cameron.
The greatest
Didn't-
Pioneer.
Is it the one that did
James
Avatar, that
Cameron.
overrated fuck movie?
Avatar, don't even get me started on Avatar. Guys, the better alien movie, or the better movie about aliens, The Thing or Alien? Andrew.
Thing.
Catherine.
That's so tough, actually. I feel like,
Like
but that was my
that one.
gut
I
reaction.
think I'm
was,
going to go...
I enjoy The Thing.
I like
Yeah,
The Thing
thank
as
you.
well.
Yeah, I'm gonna be also a Thing guy. I'll be Thing 3.
I
And
think
then Mike
Mike's
will
the
be
thing.
Alien.
Mike's the thing guy.
You know,
He just said his
I-
four
I am-
pillars are fucking.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
I think Alien was I liked Alien earlier in life, and I think I've grown to like The Thing more later in life. So I'm gonna go The Thing.
You know
there
what
as
it is?
well.
It's-
which it pains me deep in my soul.
It's hard. It's a hard choice.
It comes down. It's Kurt Russell.
Yeah, I mean Sigourney Weaver's
love
awesome,
Kurt
but
And
Kurt
and
Russell's
the
awesome.
thing is just so
And
much
you love
cooler.
Kurt Russell's son.
Like when it
Like,
just
love
you
Kurt
love
Russell
like
and his
everything
wife
about Kurt
or
Russell's
girlfriend.
family.
The practical
like,
effects.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue the practical
Friends.
practical effects in Alien and The Thing are comparable.
Yeah,
because
but
the
I like the ones
sets,
from The
the
Thing.
sets in Alien.
The sets in Alien are phenomenal.
I was
Fantastic.
when I watched it again last night. I was like impressed by how they did space, and which is it's weird to say
Space.
because something that's so vast and like kind of simple, it still looks like you're fucking in outer space. Like you
I
are
know.
deep out in that bitch.
It is.
Like you're way up in there.
Well, they
Okay.
did a good job of doing it very. I don't know, but one thing I did notice though that I didn't like is when it's taking off the planet. Why did they decide to just string a bunch of Christmas lights on the bottom of the ship? Because I'll never understand. All the lights on the very bottom of the ship.
Yeah.
They're just like you can tell they're
When they,
Christmas
like,
lights
throw on the
'cause they're like
floodlights?
they're like
Yeah.
all over the place. I'm like those clearly aren't like real lights.
like,
Those are
throw on the
Christmas.
floods.
They threw Christmas lights on the bottom of this thing.
yeah.
It was completely unnecessary, and it just bothered me because that's all I could see. I'm like, why are those? Like, I'm pretty sure
There are
Talk about
certain
Christmas
aspects of the movie, like special effects wise, that you can feel the dating, but I mean, I feel
That's-
like it's
that's-
still
that's
like
a
the
nitpick.
rest of the movie makes up for it. Like I would say specifically the chest burster scene where the alien just is pulled on a stick across the table and then leaves. And then also when Kane gets shot out of the air socket after the alien bursts out of him, it's just like, it's like clearly.
It reminds me of in like Austin
Claymation
Powers,
or,
The
like,
Spy Who
whatever.
Shagged Me, when Minty
Yes.
goes out. And he,
Yes.
But then you have the scene where Ash's head is on the table, and it's responding.
it's
It's
All right.
unbelievable.
perfect.
So do we go 4 for 4 there with the thing?
I think so
Yes.
too.
Wow. Okay. All right. Wow.
It's not
That's
The Thing special effects
eye-opening to
are
me.
arguably the greatest practical
of
special
all
effects
time
in
yeah.
history.
I think they're better than this movie.
I also
The only
like. I
thing
also
that-
like the setting better. I like the setting in Antarctica.
I do too.
It's
It
much
makes it feel a
brighter.
little bit more real. I feel like because
Yeah.
it takes place on Earth and it's not a spaceship. Even though the
they'll
spaceship
ever
in
go to
Alien,
Antarctica,
which I'll
but-
get more to in my opinions about this movie, it feels like it's like if the average Joe went to space 1,000 years
It's
from now. Like
100%.
it feels exactly what that.
Dude, they're
like
just
they nailed
ripping
it. They just
butts.
nailed it.
First off, that I don't think would be allowed in a
Well, he's like
spacecraft.
when they're
ever.
like when they're fixing the maintenance guys are like trying to. They're like it's gonna be 17 hours. He's like it'll be 25 hours, and then they're sitting there like there's like beer cans everywhere.
yeah.
Like,
Not doing
dude,
anything.
like you kidding?
I also liked so
I'd be like,
okay.
get me the fuck off.
Something,
the
Yeah,
dude, like, let's
something
go.
something small that was a
this is a
cool
bad place to
detail.
be.
So okay, so when it shows them kind of wake up out of hyperspace at the beginning, right? Next to all their pods are like their clothes that they just like threw off and chucked on the ground like before they jumped in to like sleep for years and years and years, which wouldn't you do that? You're not like folding your clothes and like putting them anywhere. Like you're throwing your clothes on the ground next
Fuck
to your
it.
bed and going to bed for 1,000
I
years.
throw my clothes on the floor before I go to bed every day of my
absolutely.
life. Yeah,
so I'm
that's
saying
what I would
that
do.
was a little detail that I thought was just
It was great.
it made it feel real. So anyway, guys, next question.
Also,
Yes?
the thing with the pods, that was in that show 100s that I watched. So
Yeah,
they thought the Earth
they probably
was gonna...
borrowed this idea from Alien.
Of
Yeah.
course they probably did.
Oh, yeah.
But do you know that? Do you guys know that show? It's on Netflix.
Never seen it. No.
So it's all these like tears or whatever, but they were so Earth was
course it
going
is.
to Earth was going to die, so they sent like kids up into space pretty much.
Oh, I know the show you're talking about now.
And then they are now going back to Earth, but they were put to sleep in pods. They were sent up to Earth and put to sleep in pods for
Why were they
like
sent to
hundreds
space?
of years. Because Earth was going to be not livable, like sort of thing that happened.
Unlivable!
Was this a take on like the
Undateable.
Rapture?
Probably.
Like some alien take on it?
Yeah, it's a great show. I mean, I watched it. Mike was like,
Bunch of
making
children
fun of
in
me
it.
the
Sounds
entire
terrible.
I do remember her watching it now, and it
Yes.
was not my
It's a
cup of tea.
teenager show.
No, then they go
What
back
channel
to
was
Earth.
this on? ABC,
No,
CBS,
Netflix. It's
or
on Netflix.
I think it was on the CW. Before
No,
it
it's
was
on
Netflix.
Netflix.
No.
Whatever.
What was it on? CW.
I don't know.
Thank
I
you.
don't have cable
Even worse
anymore.
than
I mean,
anything.
It's on Netflix.
Keep talking about it. I'll find
It was
out.
on UPN.
No.
It was called.
ESPN38.
It was called The 100.
Came on after
correct?
King of the Hill.
Family Matters.
Or
It's
King,
always
King
on
of
UPN.
Queens.
And what was that show? The
Everybody
cartoon?
Hates
No, the
Chris.
cartoon with the PJs. That's
What?
CW.
What?
Remember that show, the PJs?
The
I never
the
watched it, but I always
100,
saw the
correct,
commercials.
100, yes.
Watching like Celtics games or something that was on UPN, I'd watch it, or CW, and then there'd be a commercial for the Parkers. That random commercial.
Premiered
with,
in
like, that black
2014
family
on
from
the
city.
CW.
Okay.
PJ, Miss PJ or something.
Fine.
You'll know.
Sorry.
When you see it.
But so
Go ahead.
anyways,
Keep going.
Yes,
Keep going. Yes.
They get sent up into space so that
Space.
because and they're living up in whatever, and then they end up coming back to Earth and they're like exploring what's going on because they've been asleep for so long because they put them to sleep like
That
they
was
do in
99.
Alien.
Yes,
Damn,
yes,
that was a
yes,
long
yes.
time ago.
Hey, let Catherine talk about her opinion about this.
Sorry, I was talking about the PJs. I didn't realize that show came out in 1999. Damn. Is that
know
an
what-
SOS?
Don't know what that was.
Is
Is it a signal from an alien world that we need to go
It is.
investigate?
Receiving
well,
a distress call.
The law says that even if you're gonna die, you
I
have
need
to
my
go
bonus,
there.
man. I need my bonus, man. I don't want to talk about this anymore till I get my bonus. All right, what else about the 100 Cat? Anything?
No, I was just saying it was similar to Alien in that sense.
Okay. Yes, with the
So,
pods and everything.
Yes, with the pods and everyone's waking up, whatever.
So I would say
Pods.
not only
They're
this
sleep
movie.
pods. They're not
They're
pods
sleep- they're
transporting them
sleep-
to some alien
no,
race.
No. They went. If you listen, yeah, they went up in a
He's
spaceship
just busting your
and they
balls
were.
as usual.
Never mind. They were asleep in pods for so many years, like they are in Alien. It's the same idea that they took.
They do
from
that in
Alien.
Interstellar. They do that in any
I know,
like
I'm just-
space movie.
So, Catherine's absolutely correct, but I feel like a lot of science fiction movies have borrowed from Ridley
Oh,
Scott,
absolutely.
not only in this
100%.
That's
movie,
what I'm saying.
but also Blade
It was an
Runner.
example.
Okay, Blade Runner and Alien, I feel like, are two of the most influential sci-fi movies ever made. You booing and
hate
hissing?
you so much.
Is the boo? We did talk about also last week a boo hiss segment of every
hiss.
episode. Is this the
Boo
boo
hiss
hiss segment for you?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes,
All right,
God,
it's gonna
I
be
hate you
between
so
Kat and
much.
Andrew.
Better than our mayonnaise tape
Except
last
when
week.
Mike's
Yeah,
too drunk
mayonnaise,
to speak.
marshmallow.
Then you can boo hiss
Like,
Mike. Guys, so I've been trying to ask this for a few minutes here. Is there a movie monster you think that you prefer over the alien? The
Predator.
Xenomorph? And if so, who
Predator.
and why? Okay, why do you like the Predator better?
Because Predator's invisible.
So the Predator, I feel like, is more human,
But also has
better
some-
technology.
Guns.
Yeah, the alien's more primal, right? Yeah, the
Yep.
Predator is like a human essentially, but just a weird version.
Exactly.
Of a human. Yes.
A weird, crazy human with like animal features.
So you prefer
guns.
the
I mean,
Predator to the
yeah.
alien? Okay.
Like, I should watch Alien versus Predator. I want to know who wins.
I can't believe that you haven't watched it yet.
No, I haven't,
It's a
no.
great movie. Well, I can tell you,
I
there's
love that
two.
movie. It's not a great movie.
I
but
love-
I love that movie. It's not a great
Andrew,
movie though.
Have you seen
It's a trash
an
movie.
Academy Award-winning movie directed by Stephen Sommers called The Mummy? Have you also seen an Academy Award-winning movie called Alien vs. Predator, which they fight in an underground pyramid? It's incredible.
I don't know. Alien Requiem
Come
might
on.
be better now.
Alien vs. Predator Requiem.
Yeah,
That's
Alien
the
vs.
one.
Predator.
Yes, yeah, it's a good.
I like
yes.
Requiem for.
That's where
So
there's
maybe I'll like
a
that.
hybrid alien queen predator. Very good.
That's a
It's essentially
trash
a
movie.
giant alien queen
not
versus
trash.
predator.
Requiem.
Well,
no,
the
I'm
thing
joking.
about Alien is that it is quote unquote a perfect specimen.
The perfect organism.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's fucking brutal. You can't kill it because it bleeds acid, and this, that, and the other thing. But I will say, in terms of a monster that I think I would be a little more shitting my pants if I ever came face to face with.
Okay.
It would be that fucking creeper from James, dude. Because that thing is
the
fucking
locust.
hardcore.
He's like a fucking locust. Just
That
Okay.
thing's hardcore.
All right. I
that's
appreciate
a
that.
very good one.
That's a hard.
I would
I've
shit my
always
pants
thought.
either way. So
I've always thought that monster is fucking.
So I feel like that's a
insane.
different question.
Yeah.
I meant to ask, is there a more iconic movie monster than Morph? But I guess if you're in,
Well,
is there a monster you would be
Godzilla.
more
Dracula.
intimidated by?
Godzilla is more
person.
iconic than Alien. If you're saying
Yeah,
iconic.
I would agree.
I mean, if you live in Japan, sure.
No, if you live anywhere, Godzilla is
Godzilla's-
way.
Everyone
He is,
knows
he is
Godzilla.
king of the monsters.
Like,
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
His name is King. It's number one dad.
All
Not
right.
just number one dad, world's greatest
All
dad.
right. All right. Okay, fair enough. Guys, tougher question here, and I know this is going to be. I feel like I'm going to be one of the only ones that's going to answer in this direction. Guys, in terms of 70s horror movies, do you think Alien's one of the top ones? And I have also in the conversation, here are the movies that I wrote down as my considerations for the best horror movies of the set. In addition to Alien. The Exorcist, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Jaws, Halloween, The Wicker Man, The Omen, Dawn of the Dead, Carrie, The Brood, and Suspiria. I would say, or I would ask, Suspiria. Would you rank Alien closer to the top or to the bottom of the movies?
How many movies is that? Like 8?
That is, let's see, 2, 4,
What's the
6,
actual name of the song?
8.
No. I was
10.
saying
10.
Hysteria.
10?
So 11 counting Alien.
Oh, Disturbia.
Yeah, I mean,
Hysteria.
Alien's in my top 10 for the 70s for sure. I think there's a couple things I would move out of that list. That, like for mine, I think I'd have The Last House on the Left.
Okay.
In there instead of
I forgot about that one.
Probably
Yep.
Suspiria, but
Yep.
yeah, no, Aliens hitting my top 10 in this for sure.
Okay.
You nailed all the other ones too. I mean, that's a solid.
I feel like that's the top.
Yeah.
That's the most, or at least the most popular, best horror movies. Andrew, do you guys care to answer? Or are you paying attention? Too high.
I'm not a big like 70s.
You've seen almost
I mean,
all of
I-
those
yeah.
movies that I listed.
What was the question? Alien top 5?
Top 10.
Top 5.
Oh well, yeah. I
Top
mean,
three.
Do you know the movies that I listed though?
Yes.
Like ballpark.
I know most.
I've
roughly.
Heard,
Yeah.
I heard.
Well,
did
you don't
I
like
have four?
Halloween.
No.
You don't like Halloween. I feel like Halloween wouldn't even be in Andrew's top 10.
We did our top. We did our draft for the 70s.
No. I know that, but I'm saying like. I'm just asking you.
Traditional top 10?
After we all just rewatched Alien.
Like not like deep cuts, just like
No,
a
just like
full-blown-
yeah. I mean, I still think it's number 3.
I'd say it's in my
top
top
3. I love.
All right, what are your 2 better movies?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay, and
Phantasm didn't come out in 89. Did it?
I also didn't
it
list
did.
Phantasm.
It did. Yeah, I was gonna say it did come out in 79.
that's in the 70s too.
For some reason, I was like 81, but that was. What are you doing?
Mine goes. I can actually
Some
like.
glasses.
No, I can see. No, I can see which ones because I forget which ones he said. So, yeah, it's probably in my top like 3.
What would you consider better?
Exorcist. Actually, top 5. Top 5.
Frigga.
Exorcist, Jaws, Halloween.
Tough to leave Jaws out, by the way.
And,
Alien's better than Jaws.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, different
Jaws
movies.
is
And then probably
a
Alien.
scarier movie in my opinion because that's
more likely to happen.
Very, like I would say
It's
it
too
is
close to home.
1,000,000% more likely to happen.
It's way too close to home.
Andrew?
That's why it's like real life scary. It's like crazy
well, dude,
scary.
like there's
Jaws
sharks
is
are real.
clearly
Well,
more
yeah.
real life scary. Although there is never been a great white shark the size of the shark in Jaws ever in the history of the world, except for the megalodon.
As far
But
as
it's
you
so
know.
funny.
As
Like,
far as you know, yes.
I also
I used
enjoy
to-
science fiction.
How big
more
is that
than-
shark technically on paper?
I think the actual animatronic shark was like 30. The largest great white,
That's insane.
the largest great white ever on record, I think, was like 22 feet long.
That's still fucking
Yeah.
gigantic.
Huge.
But it's wild to think like.
You can only find those though in Australia or Mexico.
But
That's where they are.
But great white sharks in general up here have always been here. We're just starting to track them, so they're just saying, "Oh, there's more. There's more. There's more." They've always been.
And
here.
they're like consistently like 14 to 17 feet. Like
Yeah,
they're not fucking small.
They're not the biggest ones in the
No.
world, but they're not small.
Yeah.
Like, and this is honestly, I would say
fuck
Jaws.
you up.
Jaws for sure. Like, okay, like in terms of real life scares, like guys were just talking about, that is the movie that has scared me the most my entire life.
Yeah,
Because
that
it
movie
is the
gets
most
scarier
realistic.
every time I watch it.
Yeah.
And
I still think, like, in terms of visceral scares, I give Alien the edge, but that's... Okay,
So,
I understand what you guys
there's
say, though.
there's the thing that scares me the most in Alien is the face hugger.
It's gross. It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Oh, that's
It's
Dude, you know what it is
laying
for
an
me?
egg in your fucking
It's
stomach.
when he
Using you as a host.
Yeah.
when he's initially brought back in after the thing's on his face, and he's like, "I'm gonna try to pull apart his what does he call them? His
Digits.
his digitals."
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he said fingers.
That's what he meant. He was like,
Yeah.
he says
He
fingers,
says
but he's like his
digits, 'cause he's a
digitals.
fucking weird robot.
And he goes to pull it, and dude, you see that shot of it like tightening its tail around his neck, and he just
Yeah.
has that
Oof.
pool of sweat.
Oh, yeah.
Like in
So
I
sweaty
don't know
and
what
gross.
this is like called, but like that little divot like in your like
Yeah.
sternum.
Oh, yeah.
And I just like every time I see that, every time I watch this movie, I
It's
see
just-
that I'm like.
I feel like you only
like,
get
dude,
that
like,
too
he's just
because...
probably so
Yeah.
sick. I'm like,
So,
ugh.
well, John Hurt, I feel like, is also a skinny person when
Yeah.
this movie was filmed.
He's so
I wonder if they like
protrudingly
actually like
bony.
if they actually asked him to like lose weight to like
Probably.
appear as gaunt as possible because yeah, I noticed that too. Like you
But
can
dude, it's that
definitely I
pool
feel
of
like
sweat. Like,
Yeah.
they make it look
Dude.
like he's getting sucked dry.
Yeah.
Like he is a host. For
And
this
dude, he's just
fucking
like his
gross
chest
thing.
is just heaving.
Yes.
Like I'm like,
And there's actually so I noticed when I rewatched it today, you can kind of see in one of the scenes, like when you look at his stomach is almost like concaved in. You can see his bones, but it looks like his stomach is almost
like something's
pulsating a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah, I did notice
Which
that.
is gross.
Yeah.
Gross. And honestly, like I understand like it's been seen by a million people and parodied a million times. The chestburster scene in this movie is still one of the most disturbing, scary
wild.
scenes ever made in the history of any movie, and I feel like it will always be up there.
Well, the sheer reaction of the rest of the cast is just,
Yes.
it's beautiful. It's so well
real.
done. Like the shorthand, well, they both short hair.
Lambert.
Lambert, her reaction is one of the best.
Honestly, low-key, one of the worst movie characters of all time, but her reaction is awesome. Everyone's reaction is great. Sigourney Weaver's, Tom Skerritt's,
where the
Yaphet
blood just
Kotto's.
goes.
Well, they
all
don't
the blood
know
just
it
comes
was
out, then all of a
supposed
sudden
to,
it just
like-
goes.
So the alien comes out of the chest, right? And they zoom in like on the face.
Mm-hmm.
You can see right behind that if you look, like the open chest, and it's like pulsating blood out. It's gross, but like they don't focus on it. So like this is like a gory movie, but it's actually also kind of not in the same sense. Like,
it's just
like
it doesn't
that one scene.
accentuate
Well, it does splat,
onto it.
and
yeah.
there is a lot after that.
Yeah.
there's a
But
lot
that's
of blood
so
in that
great
part.
though that they go back to that because when they find that
Just
ship
blood.
and they find the Prometheus or whatever that race is, that's,
Yes.
and his chest is burst open and he's look at his
Yeah.
chest, it was exploded from the inside.
So
Fucking.
I guess I'll ask. I'll ask too. All right. So let's continue on that. So I would say obviously you get the alien, right? The Xenomorph. That's really scary. I think the fact that they focus so much, and this is just Ridley Scott through, and this difference between this movie, I think, and Aliens, is that the secondary villain in this movie is technology and artificial intelligence. Because you also have, in addition to the perfect organism, you have the science officer, Ash, played by Ian Holm, right?
Phenomenal.
And you have Mother. And I think Ian Holm plays one of the all-time secondary slimeball villains. Like, this, it's not even close. Like,
Well,
it's a great performance.
It gets better every time you watch it because you pick up on all the subtle cues.
Oh, yes.
That he is completely like this is all a fucking plan.
Right.
Like immediately when the thing runs away, he's like, don't touch it. Like,
Don't touch it.
yeah,
Don't
like,
touch it.
He doesn't
And
want them to pull the thing off his
he's
face.
the-
He wants to let it finish doing its job. He leaves just enough time for it to happen.
He's the
Like,
one that
yeah.
overrides Ripley when Ripley's trying to say, listen,
Yeah.
I'm the commanding officer on this ship.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in charge. Don't let them in. We have a quarantine procedure. And you know what? Guess what? Ash lets them in, and they're all fucked.
Yeah.
And they were all screaming at her right after. I forgot that Lambert punches her in the face
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, like, I get both sides. Because you know what? Ripley was right, but at the same time, if you're the one in the airlock, you're
Yeah.
probably like, let me the fuck in. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Like, let's fucking go here. I'm in an airtight spacesuit. Help me out here.
The fact that he
Peru.
tricks them for that long and they don't even know that he's a fucking
Yeah.
robot is wild.
Yes. Can we talk about how unusually milky was
That's
for,
his
like,
blood.
a robot.
Yeah, that's just like
You also-
his,
Like-
fluid.
That's
yeah.
his
and,
blood.
Hydraulic.
Like, little,
Yeah,
like,
hydraulic
grapes
fluid.
and toothpicks and stuff.
So if you notice too, so when so I noticed this today. So when he's actually like in the infirmary watching Kane, right? That's the character's name. No, right, Kane.
Kane, yeah.
It shows him drinking a glass of like white fluid, which you're assumed to think is probably milk, right? But it's just like, oh, I noticed that. I was like, I didn't see. Yeah, all-time.
I
fucking
don't know how many
slime ball.
times I've actually. I think this is like my second time watching.
Well,
this
Kat,
movie.
I mean,
You also
you
notice
and
he
I have
doesn't
watched this
blink.
movie together a lot.
He doesn't blink.
I've never I've
Yeah.
never noticed that. I've never paid
Yeah.
attention to that. So, but that makes
I always
sense to me.
forget whenever I watch this movie. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
whenever I have, and then
Every-
it's like, oh, he's a robot.
Except when his
Oh,
head's on the
shit.
table.
See, I
and
feel like
his
this
eyes
is
close a bunch.
so okay. Like inside story, Kat and I obviously like we have a lot of different tastes in terms of types of horror that we both like. Okay, we've watched this movie together 7 or 8 times.
No way.
Yep, absolutely.
No way.
And every time we've been drinking or smoking, and I say to you, "This is like great." I rave.
Well, it's one of those
I
ones you
rant
put
and
on,
rave.
and I'm like, I'm going to bed. Good night.
And you're like,
And
yeah,
then
I'm all
keep it
set.
on.
Yeah, like I'm
that's-
good. Like, yeah. I'm like, this is
That
the
is
scariest
one of
movie ever
these
made. And you're like,
movies.
no, I don't think so. I'm like, okay, cool. And then you're like,
And I leave you on the couch and I go to bed.
you watch some weird movie. And you're like, I'm so scared. I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I just don't get it. I just
That's how I am with saying
Question
like The
for you.
Exorcist.
yeah.
Who's the better android, Holm or Fassbender?
Home.
Yeah.
Fassbender is good though.
Fassbender's
Fassbender's very, very good.
very good.
That's a different conversation. I really want to try and steer away from the Alien franchise aside from
Yeah.
this movie.
It was just a random
I feel like we
question.
could go for 4 hours.
Because
but-
Fassbender was good.
Fassbender was very good in
Both
Prometheus, and I thought he was better in Covenant because he was playing
Fucking
two parts.
love that movie.
Covenant's very good. Yeah, but I guess for me again, as I do wax poetically about this movie,
Wax on, wax on.
I really don't think it's hyperbole to say it's one of the best science blends of all time, if not the best.
It's a
I don't know,
staple.
and I guess it does technically have one of the best received sequels of all time, but I feel like this is still the superior movie because they're two different moods.
Can I
the whole time.
challenge you right now? List
Sure.
all of the aliens. Don't miss any.
Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, Prometheus, Alien Covenant, Alien Romulus, and then the Alien TV series that's going to be on FX, along with Alien vs. Predator and Alien vs. Predator Requiem.
That's good you know that, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that.
He
I
even
could've-
included the
I-
ones that aren't out yet.
I could have said whatever. I could have said anything right there. You would have been like, okay, cool, yeah.
Yes, exactly. 'cause I was
You didn't
like,
think I-
knew
you
that
didn't think I
you
could do
knew
it.
Alien Sporkle Chunk.
Okay.
That's one.
Kat, name me all the
SpongeBob
Scream
SquarePants.
movies.
No, I won't. No.
They're literally numbered
only
1
6 of
through
them.
6.
I know.
Andrew, name me all the
Scream
Phantasm
again.
movies.
That's fucking wild. There's like too many, and there's
There's
some I
5.
haven't even seen. There's like 7.
You guys all
No, there's more
pussing
than
out
5.
right now?
Yes.
Matthew, name me all the Halloween movies.
I didn't
Halloween,
play trivia tonight.
Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection, Rob Zombie's Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends.
Yeah!
Wow.
There we
There's only 5. I
fucking
thought there was more than
go.
that. I thought they did way more than that.
Excellent.
Lame name. Lord of the Dead, Oblivion, and Ravager.
I don't know the names of
Those
yeah,
are the
I wouldn't have
names.
known the names, but I knew that there were 5.
What are you talking about?
This is just stupid names for the Phantasm movies.
Oh, jeez.
Didn't say I liked all the Phantasm. I liked the Phantasm
Can we talk about Sigourney Weaver in this movie for a little bit? I feel like the
Yes.
acting in this movie across the board is phenomenal, but I feel like
This is where you fell in love with Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah,
absolutely.
she's also a babe in this movie.
She's a
for
babe.
sure.
She's a babe. Doesn't look that great in the granny panties at the end. Not that great.
Who does?
But hey, you know what? I just respect the way
She's an astronaut. Like,
astronaut, right? Am I right?
Christ.
But the way that she fucking kicks ass in this movie, I love the way that she just has attitude with everybody else. Like, fuck you. Like, hey, no. Fuck you. Again, like, starting off with, like, the, hey, like, I'm quarantining you. You're infected. Stay off the fucking ship. I'm in charge. And then Ash ruins it. But then also, there's another time when she yells at, what's his name? Parker.
Oh, with the steam.
Well, yeah, shut up! Shut up!
Oh, see, I like the one where they're down fixing the. It's Parker and The guy that gets
Oh,
for the
Brett.
cat.
Yeah.
Brett,
Harry
and
Dean
all the
Stanton.
steam's
That's a good
hissing
one,
out
too.
of the
Yeah.
pipe, and she's like, "Well, why don't you go? What did she say? Like, why don't you
Why
go,
don't you go fuck yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It did
where,
crack me up when
yeah.
the two maintenance guys are down in the
I love the
hull.
two of them together.
And like,
What's that, Ripley?
Like they're there after they didn't want to go in the first place. Now the ship's all fucked up, and she's like telling them like, "All right, like why don't we get to it?" And he's like, "You better not get in my fucking way." Like,
it's so good.
God
That's
damn it!
so good.
Also, speaking of the, so I know I mentioned like the secondary technology villains, but like also you also get a third element here, right? Of just the greed of humans that creeps in as a third villain. And I remember the first time like that I rewatched this movie where I was able to like actually like, okay, I understand this. The commands from Mother on the screen. All other considerations secondary, crew expendable. And I was just like, holy fuck, this just gave this movie it turned it from just your straight haunted house movie in space with a great monster into just like something entirely different.
There's everything is against you.
Yes, everything. Like literally
like
everything.
you are only just a part of something that's about to be destroyed.
I don't know. It hits with me on just so many fucking levels. It's insane. So, guys, anything else? What I was saying there? Anything else before we get into our next couple of things here?
I'm excited for like what is it, 79? The
79. So
79
that was what we were
rundown,
going to talk
dude.
about next. Yeah.
Oh,
Want to hear that real quick? So I guess
Dang
I
it.
just pulled popular shit here. So also in 1979, the year that Alien came out, we got the Amityville Horror with Josh Brolin and Margot Kidder.
Solid.
Yep, solid. We got The Brood.
Solid.
David
I
Cronenberg.
personally
Solid.
love The Brood.
Yeah, it's actually this is a really good year for. We got directed by Werner Herzog from Germany. Nosferatu, the Vampire.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yep.
true.
Very, very good.
Werner
scary.
Herzog.
Andrew, we got Phantasm in 1979.
Obviously, yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
I do.
We also got Toby Hooper's Salem's Lot in 1979, along with When a Stranger Calls, and Lucio Fulci's Zombie 2, Mr. So,
Zombie.
pretty decent year for horror in the 70s.
Zombie.
Yeah, pretty good. A good year for popular horror movies, I would say.
I was just saying, I feel like there's something else.
You probably have a
another
few that
sneaky
you've seen.
boy.
Yes, absolutely.
What am I doing? What's happening?
La da da da.
I was just saying, discuss.
La da da.
Tourist Trap. That's another little sneaky. Driller Killer's another sneaky. Yeah, and a lot of kind of random. What is it? Low budget.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you named the big ones. I mean, Apocalypse Now came out in 7. That's a great movie.
That's
too.
arguably a horror movie, I would
It's
say.
definitely at least a thriller.
Oh, so I forgot to mention. So I've seen this version of this movie so many times that I forget that another version actually exists. But I own the director's cut, which has a couple of cut scenes from the theatrical cut of the movie. One is when Ripley, after everybody else is dead, she stumbles down like into the hull of the ship, and she sees Dallas and Brett both like up on the wall, encased in like the xenomorph
cocoon
shit. Have
thing?
you guys seen
Yeah.
that? Like the cocoons? Andrew, have you seen that?
That's like what happens in Aliens.
It's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross. It's like that's where they get the idea from. And pretty much Dallas is just in so much pain. He's just like, kill me, and burns him alive with a flamethrower. It's fucking. I don't know why they left it
Aliens
out.
is the best part in my opinion.
Yeah, I think
is
so,
when
too.
they have everyone.
The end is wild.
When when she
She's-
fights her with the
yeah.
forklift or
Yeah.
whatever
So
it
good.
is.
Yeah, it's like that.
That part's sick.
Yeah. Get away
Newt.
from her,
Well, that
you
they
bitch!
they also have like all the fucking face huggers fucking running around.
Oh yeah.
You can definitely see like where James Cameron was like he had something to do with Jurassic Park at some point. Didn't he do the second one?
I don't know about that. I could be wrong. I've never.
I
Heard
could
of
be
that.
totally fucking blown.
He'd
smoke.
probably
But I
be
know I
blown.
can tell
He
you.
did Titanic.
He did do Titanic.
I know that not only I think Aliens got nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars, but actually that might not be true. But Sigourney Weaver got nominated for Best Actress at Oscars
That's
for
sick.
playing Ripley in Aliens, which
It's pretty good.
I understand. Like it's more her movie than Aliens, but I feel like she's better in this for me personally. But again, up for debate depending on your if you like multiple aliens or just one alien causing
prefer
tension.
one.
Yeah.
Alien Eye.
Well, I would say like Alien is
Alien.
still her
Alien.
movie. She's the final girl. And it's like Tom Skerritt's like top billed, but it's like you're not going to be like, hey,
Right?
by the way, but Sigourney Weaver's in one
So
of
actually,
those,
I'm glad you
so.
brought that up because I feel like this movie, when it came out in '79, like clearly Tom Skerritt is the headlining star of this movie, right?
Yeah.
And he's dead an hour into the movie, and you're like, shit.
I bet you Sigourney Weaver got paid a lot less than most of the other people in the movie.
She probably
maybe
got-
like
I'm
she was
sure
probably
she
like
got-
I mean,
four.
she was the
She was probably
big-
like 3 or 4 though.
She was the female lead, but I bet you they billed not only John Hurt, but Tom
Hurt and
Skerritt,
Skerritt got paid more.
Ian Holm, probably all got
yeah.
billed ahead of her, and then probably her. So she was probably fourth billed in the movie,
yeah.
top female.
Should have
billed
been,
in the movie, if I
should
had
have
to
been
guess.
number
Yeah.
1.
Clearly, absolutely. I mean,
But at that point in her career, it was.
who's the biggest star in the movie? I'm sorry, it's Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Ian Holm obviously did
Tom
Well,
Skerritt.
Lord of
bet.
the Rings
Fuck
movies,
Tom Skerritt.
Yeah.
but I don't know. Ah,
Skerritt.
let's see. What else can we talk about regarding Alien,
Tom
guys?
Skerritt. Where is that?
Guys,
Tom
Alien's been
Skerritt.
made into haunted houses at Universal Studios in Florida. It's been made into video games, which I've played. One is Alien Isolation.
Yeah, it's just a scary fucking game.
It's honestly the scariest video game I've ever played, and I've played some scary ones. That and I think the Outlast games are the scariest games I've ever played.
Did you play Resident Evil 7?
No, I've
That
actually
game is
never played any of those.
Right.
Scary games.
Yeah, oh yeah, like scary shooting games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. You don't think they'd be scary?
First Bioshock
Oh,
game is pretty terrifying.
man,
No.
you have no
No
fucking
way.
idea what you're talking about. Resident Evil 7 is
Scary.
fucking scary.
So I
as shit.
guarantee.
Silent Hill was scary.
Put Cat down here with the lights off, some headphones
Okay,
in,
I'm
watching
not
that.
turning the lights off.
Oh yeah, that's how you do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
No.
Why?
Oh, yeah.
Too scary?
Oh, I don't know. I don't do the dark.
Oh, well, that's crazy.
Not crazy.
Oh god.
Jeez.
Crazy how
I'm like,
that
child?
how the tables turn.
No.
Turn tables.
I don't like the dark. It's scary. What do you have, a
I'm
nightlight?
not gonna play another.
No. I don't have a nightlight. No, I like to sleep in the dark, but
Do you
Well,
hide,
that's how
do you
you
hide
sleep.
under your covers? There's
Kind
scary
of.
monsters out there.
kind
Yeah,
of.
that'd be monsters. Guys, tough to talk about Alien without mentioning H.R. Giger, who designed all of the designs for the Alien.
I'm glad you mentioned H.R.
spaceships.
Giger.
I do want to give
Yes.
one
know who
quick
that
shout
was.
out. I don't know if you have it on your
Dan
docket.
O'Bannon,
Yes.
who wrote the movie. Very good stuff.
Because he directed Return of the Living, and I love that
Yes.
movie.
Good stuff, guys. I feel like this has been a pretty deep dive into Alien. Happy Alien Day again. Anything else on Alien?
That's all I got. This movie's gross. Gross me out every
yeah.
fucking
That's
time,
E.T.
dude.
It sure
And
is
it really
gross.
is. It's the face hugger
know,
thing.
it's
It really is just like the
Alien.
thought of this weird spider pumping cum down my throat. Fucking miserable. So
Yeah, because also, I mean, I feel like we would normally sometimes, if there's analysis to be had, I feel like this is one of those movies that we just glossed over it, but it's very clear that the Xenomorph creature is a metaphor for ape.
Yeah.
So it's that's why it's so uncomfortable.
it's extremely
to watch.
invasive.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially like Lambert at the end when it just shows the tail like going
Yeah.
like up and under and like around like her back. It's just like
And
there.
it's just like knowing
yeah, no,
how there's so
gross.
many aspects
Disgusting.
of this creature and what it comes from that are so incredibly fucking dangerous.
It's like a parasite or an insect. And it's
And
But it's
how
like- it's
quickly,
it's like
how quickly it
indestructible.
grew.
yeah. Oh my god! I feel like the time
It
between
grew from a fucking
it comes out of
gerbil.
Kane's stomach, and then when Brett is killed, because he's the first one that's killed, right? When he gets like lifted up like into
Yeah.
the rafters, he
It's one- it's
finds
only-
the
yeah.
skin, and it's all of a sudden like a giant.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
But like,
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
seeing that and being like, "Oh fuck, dude!" Like
I was like, I was watching it today, and I was like, how do you not run? But I was like, you know what? I would pee and poop myself,
But-
and I would die right there. I'd be dead. I'd be a dead
I would
person.
do it all.
Yes,
I would have a number 3.
But it just initiated from him.
Gonna be this. I mean, define being scared.
He
Sorry,
just
go
like
ahead.
he just like touched this like egg, and all of a sudden it just went.
Also,
that's
Kane is
dumbass.
the
Well,
stupidest
one,
idiot
yeah.
walking.
Well, clearly
planet
the facehugger also takes part of human DNA with it when it.
Dude,
Yeah.
the
that's-
other thing too, it goes
Because you have to
through
think
his
about like with
fucking
the
helmet.
facehugger's mating with the person's fucking.
So do you
Well,
know how
that's-
many
They
And
had
other-
to
again-
cut. They had to
Right.
cut his helmet off.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that and again, that's like the focus of Prometheus and Alien Covenant is that the creature impregnates
It's
born
evolved.
from-
person
yeah.
It's
and
an involved.
takes
yeah,
from
it's
that.
a fucking
yeah,
disgusting
Gross.
and wild concept.
gross. I can't think of a worse
So
way
how
to go.
many xenomorphs do you think are out?
I don't want to think about that.
Probably as many
least several.
Xenobites as there are.
Yes,
too.
as many Xenobites as Xenomorphs.
At least several.
So who would win in a fight, the Xenobites or the Xenomorphs?
Ooh,
I'm going to put my money on the
Xenomorphs.
Xenomorphs.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like they win, or should.
What about,
I mean, unless they just start whipping chains around and pull them, but then they just spray acid everywhere. But does that matter? I mean, the Cenobites might like. They might have
rub
an
it on
acid
them,
fuck
Well,
fest.
the Cenobites are impervious to pain, right? So whatever the
Hellraiser,
Xenomorphs do to
right?
them, they might like. They like it hard.
Right.
Weird.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Or wet. Or whatever. Whatever happens.
I feel like they'd get along in a weird way. Like in a weird world.
They could.
Yeah.
In a weird world.
Well,
I get a little spicy in the pepper.
have to say, guys, at the conclusion of this episode, I listened to our episode from last week, and I was sorry that I had a few too many sippy sippies.
Oh my God, enough, will ya?
And I'm glad to hear that we arrived at ridiculousness in the episode.
Yeah.
And without any of us being ridiculous.
It was funny when you were doing the intro to this one. I was thinking, it would have been funny if one of us did the intro.
I was thinking that.
You were like, Mike
earlier
died.
this
Mike
week.
died. Mike's gone.
Mike died. Mike has been recently.
You want to re-record it? You can, I can do a new episode. You can re-record it if somebody wants to.
No.
Mike has been
Let's do
suspended.
that.
That's
He's
fine.
no longer allowed to do the intro for.
I'll do it.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
All right,
I would
sure.
love
I'll
if Kat did
re-record it.
one time.
I'll do it, but no one's here.
You can pre-record
Oh,
it, but then
okay.
we
No.
listen to it before we start so that we can make fun of you.
Fine. Maybe after this one, I'll just record
No,
it.
just let her go.
That's
After
fine.
this, she can just record an
Yeah,
extra
that's what
one, and
I
I'll
mean.
listen
Yep,
back to it.
yep,
And if it's
yep.
good, I'll put it on the
That's
head of
fine.
the episode.
Okay.
In
Do
addition
it.
to
I
what
need a
I
script,
put on
though.
Yeah.
there. I mean, I have a
I need a
script.
script.
You haven't heard him do it
Yeah.
1,000 times?
Great.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
She doesn't
Mike
pay.
can't.
Eddie
She doesn't
No.
fucking pay attention.
I don't either. I go like this. I go.
All right. Are we ending one episode before we re-record at the
Yes.
beginning?
I think we're done. Correct.
We're done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
All
got
right,
pee.
guys. Anyway, Alien rocks. I love this movie, and thanks for participating in a good conversation about it. You guys were all great, and great to be coherent for an episode this week in Above Ground. So, anyway, guys, it's been another episode of America's Hometown Horror. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you like this show, what I would ask you is to, if you have Apple, if you have an iPhone,
If I have
go on
an
Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star review. Reviews of this show, I think, are the best thing to help us grow. You can also find us on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spreaker, and wherever else you may find your podcasts. Just search for us. You'll find us. Guys, good evening. And we are all expendable, by the way. The crew is expendable. Bye.
Goodbye.
Adios,
Goodbye.
muchachos.
Go Celtics.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, go Celtics. Go Celtics, baby. Go Seas. Boo! Hey everyone, it's Mike from America's Hometown Horror, and just wanted to say thank you again for listening to another episode of our show, because of course, we would be nothing without you listeners. If you are interested in more local Plymouth podcasts, I would highly recommend you check out some shows by our cohorts on the Inebriart Podcast Network. That's right, the Inebriart Podcast Network, folks. In addition to America's Hometown Horror, you can find the Inebriart Podcast, Bar Talk, Theme Park Legends, Retro Redoctopus, and Old Colony Cast. Head on over and give them a listen.